Welcome to the Think Forward podcast, where we speak with futurists, innovators, and big thinkers. Come along with your host, Steve Fisher, and explore the future together.
Welcome back to Foundations in Foresight, a Think Forward series. I'm Steve Fisher, and today we're diving even deeper into Reality Remix, this incredible shift where the physical and digital worlds are merging into a single, seamless experience. Last time, we talked about how augmented reality, virtual spaces, and AI-generated content are reshaping everything from business to personal identity. And if you thought that was a big deal, just wait, because now comes the real challenge. How do we navigate this new blended reality? It's one thing to know that digital and physical worlds are converging. But the bigger question is, what do we do about it? How do businesses create meaningful and engaging experiences instead of just flashy gimmicks? How do individuals prepare for careers that exist across both digital and physical spaces? And how do we ensure that, in a world of infinite digital possibilities, we don't lose sight of what truly matters in the physical world? That's what today's episode is all about. We're going to explore how businesses can design immersive experiences that people actually care about, how individuals can develop skills for a world where digital and physical realities are constantly shifting, and what ethical and social challenges come with living in a world where the real isn't always so easily defined. By the end of this episode, you'll have a clearer roadmap for not just surviving, but thriving in this new world where reality itself is evolving. Let's jump in. We've spent most of human history thinking about reality as one thing, the physical world we see and touch. But that's no longer the full story. Reality Remix is what happens when the physical and digital start merging into one continuous experience. It's not just about VR headsets or spending more time online. It's about a fundamental shift in how we interact with the world around us. If you've ever tried on digital clothes before buying them, attended a work meeting in a virtual environment, or followed an AI-generated influencer, you're already part of this shift. We're not just living in the physical world anymore. We're constantly moving between multiple realities, some physical, some digital, and many that blend both. And here's the big thing. This isn't some niche trend happening in the background. It's happening across every industry. Brands are creating digital-first shopping experiences. Companies are holding meetings in virtual offices. People are investing in virtual land, designing digital fashion, and curating online identities that are just as important as their physical ones. We're shifting from either-or thinking, where something is either physical or digital, to both-and thinking, where reality is a mix of different layers that overlap and interact. So, what does this mean for businesses? How do companies create value in this new blended reality? The biggest mistake companies make is trying to force old models into new spaces. Just taking an existing product and slapping an AR feature on it isn't enough. The businesses that succeed in a blended reality are the ones that create experiences that couldn't exist in a purely physical or digital world. Take retail. Traditional stores are becoming interactive showrooms where customers can use augmented reality to visualize products in their own space before they buy. Some brands are going even further, selling digital clothing that only exists in virtual spaces. It sounds strange at first, until you realize that people are already paying for virtual sneakers and designer outfits for their avatars. Then there's the workplace. Remote work is no longer just about Zoom calls. Some companies are experimenting with virtual offices where employees meet and collaborate in fully immersive environments. Instead of staring at a screen all day, people can interact with digital objects, brainstorm in 3D spaces, and actually feel like they're sharing a workspace, even if they're across the globe. The companies that will thrive in Reality Remix aren't just adding digital features to old models, they're designing entirely new experiences that blend the best of both worlds. But it's not just businesses that need to adapt, it's individuals too. Digital fluency is becoming just as important as traditional skills. If you want to future-proof your career, you need to be comfortable working in both digital and physical spaces. That means understanding virtual collaboration tools, navigating augmented work environments, and building a digital presence that's as strong as your real-world reputation. Think about it. If you're in design, marketing, education, or even healthcare, there's a good chance your field will soon involve augmented or virtual interactions in some way. The sooner you start experimenting with these spaces, the better positioned you'll be. Beyond just technical skills, there's something even bigger: the ability to manage identity and authenticity across multiple realities. In the past, your professional reputation was based on your real-world actions. Now, it's just as much about how you present yourself online, how you interact in digital spaces, and how you balance multiple versions of your identity across different platforms. The most valuable workers in this new world won't be the ones who specialize in just one thing. They'll be the ones who can move fluidly between digital and physical spaces, blending skills, adapting to new platforms, and thinking in ways that aren't limited by a single version of reality. Of course, with all of these opportunities come some big challenges. One of the biggest concerns is what happens when we can't tell the difference between real and AI-generated content. We're already seeing deepfakes, AI influencers, and hyper-realistic virtual environments that make it harder than ever to separate fact from fiction. If AI can generate people, voices, and even entire personalities, how do we ensure authenticity? How do we trust what we see and hear? Then there's the question of digital well-being. If virtual spaces become more engaging than the real world, what stops people from spending more time in them than in physical spaces? Some already are. The challenge will be finding the balance, using these immersive technologies to enhance our lives rather than replace real human connection. And let's not forget, who controls these digital spaces? Right now, a handful of major tech companies own and operate most of the platforms we interact with daily. If the future of reality is a mix of digital and physical, who gets to decide what's allowed, what's censored, and how our data is used? Ensuring that these spaces remain open, fair, and accessible to everyone will be one of the biggest societal challenges of the next decade. So, where do we go from here? Reality is no longer just physical. It's no longer just digital. It's both. We are entering an era where our experiences, our identities, and even our workspaces exist across multiple realities. The companies that understand this shift will lead the next generation of business. The individuals who embrace it will thrive in careers that don't even exist yet. The key takeaway here? Start exploring, start experimenting, start thinking about what Reality Remix means for you. So here's your challenge. Look at your own world. Where do you already see Reality Remix happening? How are digital spaces influencing your industry, your career, or your personal interactions? And most importantly, how are you preparing for a future where the boundaries between digital and physical are fading? In our next episode, we're diving into the ethical and strategic challenges of navigating blended realities, how we can ensure these spaces benefit society, protect our identities, and remain human-centered. Until then, keep exploring, questioning, and as always, think forward.
Thanks for listening to the Think Forward podcast. You can find us on all the major podcast platforms and at www.thinkforwardshow.com, as well as on YouTube under Think Forward Show. See you next time.